This is Film Trigger.
Derpy Gaming says, hello, friends. I'm here for quality content. Well, you came to the wrong channel. There we go.
That's very good.
Except for the fact that it's George Clooney's Batman.
So by that logic, George Clooney is the best live-action Batman we have ever got.
If Justice League 2 isn't announced in 2022, I will shave my hair bald live on air.
Streaming from Studio 47, Film Trigger's Drive-By News begins now.
What up? What up?
Will they even be able to hear that?
I don't know. All the planning in the world cannot make this work out the way we wanted it to. When we were originally going to face this way, but it was too bright outside. So now we face this way, but now the sun's behind us, so we're back to the back being really bright again.
Yeah.
Oh man, then the plane. Okay, hello everybody.
Hello.
We're live. My name is Seth. Wait, no, I'm not. You're Seth.
Nope, not.
Oh, okay. Well, neither one of us are real people, and we don't exist. Life is only a dream, and we are just the imagination of ourselves. I'm Stevie Cade. This is Seth Draven. We are here to discuss
Star Wars.
Did you hold up your Batman shirt?
I did.
All right. Yes, we're going to be here talking about the Obi-Wan episode 1 and 2 spoiler talk. And you know what? Let's create some ambiance here. Let's get some chill music going. Bring that down just a hair. Just change our background a little bit. There we go. There's our Obi-Wan background. You can't tell. Obi-Wan's behind us.
Yeah, but you can tell what it is. It's Tatooine.
Yeah, it's the only planet that exists in that galaxy. Not really. That's far from the truth, but
Well, not far from the truth.
not too far. All right, dude. So we watched episode 1 and 2. Are you ready to dive into some spoiler talk stuff?
I am. Very ready.
Let's see here. If you guys want to join us in the comments, please feel free to do so right now. The comment section is open and live. We will not be taking calls today because, as you can see, we are not in the studio. We are visiting. We crossed the river, went through the woods to grandmother's house. We went. We are at my parents' house, and where it's really, really bright behind us.
It is very bright.
Gosh, it was nowhere near that bright when we set this up originally.
Well, see, this is a good life lesson. The sun moves.
What?
It moves around.
Whatever. Get out of here with that voodoo. That witchcraft.
I guess if you want to be technical, the earth moves.
Right. You see? Now you speak in my language. All right. We're going to jump into some Obi-Wan spoiler talk. But as I said, we will not be taking calls today because, again, we're not in our studio, and I need a second laptop to do that, and I only have one. Poor me. All right. So first of all, what we're going to discuss, we're just going to go right off the bat with our initial reaction to the Obi-Wan series, episode 1 and 2. Then we're going to go through the list of characters and see what we thought of them. If you enjoy the show, if you didn't enjoy the show, let us know in the comments below what your thoughts were, any questions you have, any comments, concerns, whatever. Leave them in the comments. We are eager to communicate with you down there. So Seth, start off with you. What did you think about episode 1 and 2 of the long-awaited Obi-Wan series?
I'll be honest, it kind of gave me everything I wanted. It did, especially in terms of like tone and vibe and stuff like that. Gave me exactly what I was looking for from the Obi-Wan show. So I enjoyed it.
Like when you say tone and vibe, like what exactly were you looking for? Like just like that classic Star Wars feel, or
like kind of like grittier, like especially when they were on that one planet in the second episode, it felt dirtier. Like this isn't this big grand universe right now. Like they're in like
Daiyu,
I think is how it's pronounced.
Daiyu.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that planet. It's just it feels dirty. It feels like Gotham. Like you're in the alleyways of Gotham, but it's the whole city.
Well, if Gotham was in Japan.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a very Japan-esque planet. You know, that was actually one of my favorite parts, aesthetically speaking, is that planet looked really, really neat on screen.
It did.
And it felt like, because the thing that's kind of been Star Wars Achilles' heel is the fact that they, even though they're in a galaxy far, far away, they seem to only exist on like one or two planets.
Yeah.
You know, you have your desert planet, you have your water planet. Every planet that exists in Star Wars is literally just take one climate on Earth, and that's just an entire planet. It snows on Earth, so we have a snow planet. We have desert on Earth, so you have a desert planet. So that's but this planet, Dayu, I guess it's called. I cannot remember how to pronounce that correctly.
Yeah.
It was a nice breath of fresh air. It was a way to step out of the norm of Star Wars, and it kind of harked back a little bit to Episode 3, I believe. They kind of went to like a city planet in that episode as well, and it kind of reminded me of that. You know, and I enjoy that. It reminds you that civilizations that exist in this world beyond just, you know, Jedis and the Sith and all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I agree with you. I liked Episode 1 and 2. There are some little bit of issues I have with it, but nothing major. I had a lot of fun revisiting Obi-Wan. Ewan McGregor playing the character again. He's really just forming himself just right into where we saw Obi-Wan in 1977 when Star Wars first came out. Like, he's really adopted that characterization of him. You know, a lot of actors will try to do their own thing and bring their own personalities into the character, which he is doing. I mean, but at the same time, he's really just making sure that the journey he goes on will end up like seamlessly being the Obi-Wan that we got in the original Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm mostly excited about for this series is we've been with Obi-Wan since he was 20 something years old.
Yeah, I'd say about, yeah.
Now, and it's going to be his life journey. I mean, it just like Darth Vader, it's the same thing. You know, it's these two, they're almost just as, if not more important than Luke Skywalker himself, the one who, you know, ends the Sith and, you know, saves the Jedi and does all the whatever he's supposed to do. But it's their journey is, it's fun to watch, and it's really interesting to see where these characters are going to go in this series, especially Darth Vader. I don't know what they're going to do with him here exactly, but I am hoping we get some more character development and actually see that evilness that we hear rumors about. The Darth Vader we were introduced into the original Star Wars, the one that created all the fear into the entire galaxy. That's the one I want to see.
Yeah.
We haven't really got that Darth Vader except for that little snippet in the Star Wars. Like, he had already gained that reputation. Now we get to see him actually, you know, come forth and earn that reputation. I think that's something that's going to be very exciting to see.
And I think we definitely will see it.
So, a little photo of Dayu that we were talking about. I'll bring this up. Yeah, this city here, like this place just looks. I want to go there. It looks so much. It just looks like it's full of life.
Yeah.
And the scene that they did here was. There's a couple things I didn't like about it, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. But let's stick with Episode 1, Seth. So, what are some of your highlights with Episode 1 and Obi-Wan's journey so far? Like, where we see Obi-Wan at this point. It's been 10 years. I guess 10 years since we're supposedly seen him last.
Yeah.
So here he is. He's kind of this introverted, grittier, slightly older man who's just doing the normal day by day beat, almost exhaustingly so. Like, life doesn't seem as full for him right now. It's more of a chore. So, but what are your thoughts of his journey so far? Like, and what they gave us in this first episode?
I mean, like I said, you know, it gave me exactly what I wanted, and that what you just described is exactly what I wanted. I wanted to see a beaten down Obi-Wan. You know, he's just kind of like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just doing life now for the sake of doing life. Like, I have nothing going for me, and that's, as weird as that might sound, is exactly what I wanted to see from it, because that's how he should be. given everything that's happened to him. So,
well, some people think that Obi-Wan shouldn't. Like, I'm not gonna name names, Ramon, but like, I made a comment about Obi-Wan on Facebook.
yeah.
And Ramon Simpson, he runs Hit or Miss TV. If you haven't seen his channel, go check it out. He does great content over there. But he says they almost bastardized Obi-Wan. Like, that's hashtag not my Obi-Wan. You know, but to me, that's part of the character development with this guy.
I mean,
how else would he be right now? I mean, he went from being one of the most respected Jedis, working towards saving the entire galaxy and making it a better place, to literally most of the Jedis being completely wiped out, and his apprentice, the one he was supposed to trust, love, and grow with, turned his back on him, turned evil, went to the dark side. He was supposed to. All hope is lost.
yeah.
That's hence A New Hope. In the 1977, even though it wasn't originally called that, but hence the New Hope title, because that's what Luke Skywalker is. He's that new hope, and that's what Obi-Wan needs right now. He needs a new hope. So, but we're not there yet. We have to see this journey come through, and so right now we get this beaten down Obi-Wan. And I think that's a very organic way to move with the character. I like how he steals a little piece of meat, to take home to his, I don't know, galaxy camel, whatever the thing that thing is.
Space camel.
Yeah, space camel. It just shows, like, it shows a rawness, and I really enjoyed that aspect. And even more so as the episode, and even more into the second episode as it progresses, he's not training still, and that comes very prevalent. Like, he takes a punch and it hurts. He hits somebody. He's like, oh God,
Yeah.
He's out of training. He hasn't done this in a very long time. He is not the man that we saw where we left him at last time. He's beaten down, and I think that's a wonderful journey, and I can't wait to see what brings him out of that. Now, what are some of your surprises in this first episode? Something that you didn't expect to happen that did?
I want to throw this out there real quick.
Mhm.
Because we're sitting here wondering, like, oh, what's the journey going to be to make him become that Obi-Wan that he used to be again?
Right.
I'll say this, just theorizing here. By the end of the show, he's going to be worse off than he was at the beginning.
What do you mean, like they're going to pull off like a season 2?
No, I mean, like, he starts off the show very beaten down. Everybody's like, oh, I can't wait to see this non-beaten down Obi-Wan. What I think is going to happen, he's going to fight Vader. Vader's going to beat him, and that's just going to send him away again. Like, he's going to be like, okay, I definitely cannot do this anymore. I'm going back into hiding, but even more so this time.
But that doesn't really make sense with what we get in the 1977 Star Wars. If this is supposed to continue right into that, the Obi-Wan in 1977 had a confidence that this one does not. You know what I mean?
That is,
like, there's a confidence. I don't know who's going to win. Obviously, they're going to do another battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. But the thing is no matter who wins or loses, there's going to be a humbleness. There's going to be a nobility gained in that fight. That's going to, I don't think it's going to beat him down even more. I think it's going to lift him up and say, you know what? I am going back in hiding, but I'm going to make sure I train this little shit to whoop Darth Vader's butt. Like, that's how I see this coming to fruition.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
But
either way, though, I think Vader's going to win the fight.
Yeah. I mean, that would be the balance of it, wouldn't it?
I would find it very difficult to believe Obi-Wan has a chance in that battle.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, well, number one, he hasn't trained in 10 years. His skills aren't honed as well as they were before.
Yeah.
But number two, he won the last battle. So
Right.
Darth Vader's going to have vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody point this out the other day. I cannot remember who it was, but, like, when it comes to them meeting again, they're not excited. They're not excited to see the fight. They're more excited to see the dialogue between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I hope we get some good dialogue between the two of them.
Do you think James Earl Jones is coming back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would assume so. Yeah. It just makes sense.
So James Earl Jones is okay. Let's say James Earl Jones comes back doing the voice of Darth Vader, even though he's like 90. I don't know. He's 150 years old.
I think he's 91 years old. maybe just 90.
And then they put Hayden Christensen. If he's in the costume, he'll be in the costume. What's Hayden's role in this movie?
We'll
Or in this TV
probably.
show?
I mean, this is spoiler talk, right? Yeah, we've seen we saw Vader already.
Yes.
And he of course did not have the suit on. That was Hayden Christensen.
Right.
So
are we gonna get a whole bunch of just shots of him in that chamber?
We'll probably get a few more, and most people are assuming we'll get Clone Wars flashbacks, which is probably the reason they brought it back.
Yeah, Clone War flash, but yeah, I forgot about that aspect of it. Yeah, can I ask you to move your chair up just a little bit?
Yep.
Just because I'm having trouble like looking back at you. We should have thought about that before we.
Yep, my bad.
You didn't do anything wrong. So, yeah, now I can see your face, and I don't have to like completely turn my head around like a freaking owl. So Obi-Wan's journeys thus far. So now he's beaten down. He's just kind of going through the motions of life. He's keeping an eye on Luke, and that's about it. That's it. He's just probably sits at home and watches Netflix and eats ice cream. So what about his relationship with Uncle Owen and that whole aspect of, obviously he handed Anakin off, or not Anakin, he handed Luke Skywalker over to Uncle Anakin. God, I keep wanting to say Anakin. Over to
Anakin,
Uncle Owen. But now Uncle Owen wants nothing to do with the Jedi Order, or him training to be a Jedi. He wants nothing to do with Obi-Wan. He wants nothing to do with the Sith. He just wants to raise a regular family. So how do you think this is going to play out? Because obviously in the 1977, again, where this is supposed to seamlessly go into, Luke knows Obi-Wan, and he knows him as Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
The highly secret alias of Ben Kenobi. How do you think that's going to pan out between Luke and Uncle Owen? How do you think this journey is going to work for them to build that trust to where Luke can communicate with Uncle Ben?
Well, Uncle Ben, I don't think.
Oh. Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't honestly think we will see Luke and Obi-Wan communicate with each other.
Really?
I think Luke just knows of Obi-Wan in the movie. I don't think he has ever met him, and if he has, it was very brief. I don't think we're ever going to see an actual like a full-on interaction between the two.
I never thought about that. I never considered that.
I mean, you got to remember, Luke didn't know who he was. He had to be told who he was because he had to like figure it out. Like, oh, you're Ben Kenobi. Like, he didn't know who he was.
But he knew who Ben Kenobi was. Like when he got that message from the droid in 1977, he's like, and Obi-Wan, can you help us, Obi-Wan? He's like, do you think she means Ben Kenobi?
Exactly. I'm saying he knows of him.
Okay.
He just doesn't know who he is. He's never met him. That's why he didn't recognize him. So I'm assuming they've never met. But Star Wars likes to retcon things a lot, so maybe they'll.
What are they retconning in this so far?
Well, I didn't say this specifically, but
okay, what have they retconned so far?
Just in Star Wars, like everything in the pre-Disney stuff, other than the movies themselves, everything was taken out. Just like. Because there was all these books and games and stuff like that, and then Disney bought them. They were like, "Yeah, nope, not part of the franchise anymore."
I thought they came out and said they were going to make sure everything was in continuity. I thought that was a thing.
Nope.
Oh,
they even took the Clone Wars show out of canon, but then people got mad, so they put it back.
Oh, okay. So you hear that? If you get angry enough, Disney will do what you want them to do.
Yeah, I love the Snyder Cut, except that's not Disney.
Right. Fair point. But anyway, so you think their relationship is simply going to stay as stoic as it is? It's just going to.
Yeah. I think he watches him from afar, and that's it.
Okay.
Just making sure he's safe.
But there's got to be something between him and Owen, like some sort of agreement of some kind. But you're right. Now that I think about it, like he's not going to train him, because you said, he never met Obi-Wan before, and Obi-Wan wants to train him as a youngling.
Yeah.
That's how that works. And yeah, and by the time we meet Luke in 1977, Star Wars, yeah, he hadn't met him. So yeah, you're probably right. He's probably gonna stay at bay, but keep an eye on him. But I'm sure Uncle Owen's gonna come through and be a big part of this in some way, somehow. He's going to be the hero. As a matter of fact, he already has been the hero once.
Yeah.
In this episode, like mainly when what's her name, Reva, or what they call her third sister.
Yeah.
When she came into the picture and she pointed him out, she goes, "You know where a Jedi is?" He's like, "Nope, sorry, I don't know where a Jedi is." And then she threatened to kill him if somebody didn't come out, and admit who the Jedi was. And but he
still didn't budge.
Still didn't budge, and Obi-Wan was right over there hanging out, watching him. So he could have called him out easily, but he chose not to. And I think that's smart. I don't think that was to save Obi-Wan at all, not even in the slightest. I think it was just, frankly, just to stay out of it completely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I shot water into my glasses. Whoops. All right, so there we go. There's Obi-Wan's journey thus far in episode 1. Please let us know in the comments below what you think of Obi-Wan's journey so far. Is this where you want your Obi-Wan to go? Do you want him to be this beaten down guy, or should he be more focused? Should he have stayed into his Jedi roots? Because that's another way he could have gone, is this kind of meditative, just wise old man that lives in the cave.
Yeah.
And then the time has come. Now let's begin your training, or he's just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to make sure no one hurts you. And then I'm just going to die in this hole. So let us know in the comments below what you think of Obi-Wan's journey so far. Now you said you don't think we're going to see much of Luke Skywalker in this.
I really don't know.
I bet we're going to have at least one full episode dedicated to Luke and just his life living with his aunt and uncle.
I hope not. This show's 6 episodes long. I wanted to focus on Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, but there has to be a pivotal point. I mean, I know the show is based around Obi-Wan Kenobi, but like, come on, you gotta lay some groundwork for Luke here, right? Like let us be introduced into his life a little bit. Maybe something happens. Maybe one of the the Sith people come and like actually try to take him away, and Obi-Wan saves him, from afar. But like, we see how that interaction goes from Luke's perspective. I think it's worth noting that, Luke exists in this world, and he's the primary like focus in Obi-Wan. So I imagine, primary focus for Obi-Wan. So I'd imagine they have to like bring some sort of context to what his life is like.
I mean,
I'm just spitballing. I don't know. I don't write movies and TV shows, so I'm just making this shit up as I go along. But
yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's gonna focus on Leia more than Luke.
Yeah, Leia is a surprise for me. The little Princess Leia. I mean, what a fun little girl that is. Like, I didn't expect her to have as much screen time as she did, but I think she knocked it out of the park. I don't know the actress's name. Here, let me switch that for you. There. I don't know the actress's name who plays her off the top of my head, and I didn't write it down, but she did a great job. She very much so like embodied Princess Leia. That confident, no fear. I'm going to do what's right. You don't scare me, even though she's a scared little girl, but she's not going to show it. She's not going to show her fear. She's going to give them pushback. She's not going to make it easy for them. She gives them a run for their money in this episode. And I really enjoy the fact that they highlighted her in this first and second episode. And I think she's going to be the surprise of the series. I think this journey with Obi-Wan might continue past episode 2.
It probably will.
But where do you think they could go with her? Like, what more could they add to this story with Princess Leia? Because obviously she has a relationship, and yes, we're going to keep referring back to the 1977 Star Wars because she's the one that sent the droids out. Obi-Wan, I need help.
Yeah.
She obviously has a relationship with Obi-Wan, and we're just in this episode where she just meets him. So where do you think they could go with this? Do you think he's going to be like a distant, somebody that saved me once or twice, or do you think he's gonna be a real personal and close with her?
I think we will see a lot more of them together. I feel like, I don't know, like maybe something is going to happen, of course, to where the Inquisitors are going to find Obi-Wan, and maybe Leia's still with him. We obviously we don't know that yet, but like assuming that she is, then obviously they're going to have to go on this whole adventure again of running away from the Inquisitors, or maybe even fighting them, which I'm excited for Obi-Wan to use his lightsaber. I was really hoping it would happen.
That's gonna be a last resort. It's gonna be a last resort.
I mean, he almost did.
Right, he almost did.
The only reason he didn't is because he didn't have to.
Right, that's what I mean. Last resort. That's kind of the Jedi way, right? I'm pretty sure the first time we're gonna see his lightsaber is the first time he sees Darth Vader.
You think?
Yeah, that's my guess. Now, speaking of Darth Vader, I'm gonna skip ahead here a little bit. Anakin Darth Vader connection. There was one part in episode 2 that just really, if you remember, I think it was Wednesday, you and I were talking about this show, and you asked me like what I was looking forward to the most, and I said I was looking forward to the most about when Obi-Wan discovers that Anakin is Darth Vader, because he has no idea. Like, how would he know that Anakin was Darth Vader?
Yeah.
And the way that he was introduced, like they called that Reva, just hunted down Obi-Wan and just tells him, Anakin's Darth Vader, right? That's how he finds out. Listen, Ewan McGregor's like acting in that part of the show was actually really good. Like, you could tell it was impactful. He started losing his breath, and like he seemed like he had PTSD like right instantly. But the way he was told that was such a missed opportunity to me. There's no reason why. Listen, I don't know the relationship between Reva and Darth Vader and why she wants to hunt down Obi-Wan, besides just for the just being recognized for it. But that seems a little shallow. There has to be more to it than that. There's some more deep-seated something with her and Darth Vader. At least I hope so.
I mean, I'm sure we'll find out what that is.
Well,
I doubt they're just gonna do this and then be like, "Oh, you wanted to know how she knew that?"
See, that's
weird.
That's my fear, though. Like that's my fear. That's that low-hanging fruit of writing that we get from series like these. There's been moments like that, not necessarily in the Star Wars, but like speaking of, like from what I heard with Hawkeye. Just a lot of low-hanging fruit of storytelling that I just didn't enjoy at all. After the fact, it was like easy calories. It was good for a moment, but it didn't keep you full. It didn't stick with you. So I'm hoping there's an impactful part that comes out of that relationship between Reva and Darth Vader. But at the same time, why did she want to tell him that he was Anakin? Why was she so eager? She's hunting down this guy to take him to Darth Vader, and the first thing that comes to her head is, I have to tell him that Darth Vader's Anakin, for no reason. She gained nothing from that. She's with the other side. I don't understand it. I thought it was one of the biggest missed opportunities in the show.
I mean, I'm thinking like, I was telling you earlier, like maybe Vader wanted him to know, and I explained like, because Obi-Wan was, telling him, do not go to the dark side. And obviously, that's like the whole Jedi thing. Do not go to the dark side. It will just consume you. And maybe he wanted him to know, be like, yeah, well, I did go to the dark side. Now look who's on top. Now look who's winning. Look who's hiding in a cave versus me, who's running the entire galaxy pretty much.
Yeah, but is that the Darth Vader we want?
I don't know.
Someone is going to look at Obi-Wan and go, see, I told you I'd be cool.
You see, as long as he doesn't do that, then it's fine.
I don't know. To me, that's just that's what I'll see if that's what he wants to do, is just boast about where he's at.
Maybe she thought it would like weaken Obi-Wan in the moment, like get him like distracted, like thinking about that, so she could get like an easier strike. Or no, that's not how that works, is it?
I don't know, but how does she even know that he's Darth Vader? That's
I don't know.
the big
There's
question.
4 episodes left.
I mean, well, I know you don't know. This is what we're here for. We're here to talk and bounce ideas and theorize and come up with our own things. But like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I mean, are they retconning the fact that nobody knows who Darth Vader is Anakin? Is that not going to be a thing now? Like, everybody's just going to know? Or do you think she has an in?
I'm sure she has an in.
Because who's that one dude? I don't have his. Oh, I didn't put his name here, but I got his picture. This guy, what's his name?
Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor. This goofy looking dude. You know, who is this the one from the series?
The what?
Wasn't the Grand Inquisitor part of?
Oh, I know
the
what you're
previous
thinking
series?
of. Rebels?
Yeah.
He was in Rebels. This is the thing that's confusing people though, because he doesn't look like how he does in Rebels.
Yeah.
Like in Rebels, he has more of like a longer head. So people are like, "Oh, why does he look so weird in Obi-Wan?" And well, spoiler alert, he gets stabbed. Now, obviously, this is Star Wars. You can probably survive a stab. But some people are thinking like, well, what if there's multiple Grand Inquisitors? Like this one gets killed off and maybe the one from Rebels gets brought in afterwards. That's kind of a stretch, but
Maybe, or they're retconning Rebels.
they wouldn't do that.
Would they not? Why not?
Because why would they?
Why did they retcon Clone Wars?
They didn't.
Well, they did, but then they undid it.
But then they brought it back. So
You know, like,
that's
so-
not really a fair comparison.
I just mean it's not impossible for them to make that sort of decision, but I mean the easy way to look at it is probably the same guy, and he's just going to survive that stab because Darth Vader survived being burned alive.
Yeah. Darth Maul survived being cut in half.
Darth Maul survived being cut in half. You know who didn't survive?
Who?
Padme.
Correct.
She died of a broken heart. These people getting stabbed with lightsabers, and she died from a broken heart.
She did.
What a wuss. All right, but the Grand Inquisitor, sure, yeah, he's. You know what? I think one of the biggest things that I'm having an issue with right now is that none of these people seem that intimidating.
Yeah, he does not seem very intimidating.
None of them do.
Give me Darth Vader. I'll be intimidated then, maybe, if he's done right. But like,
Or unless his entire point is to look at Obi-Wan and go, no, boo boo. You know, like unless that's his entire integrity. It's see, I told you I could be something. If that's it, then no. But there doesn't really seem to be too much of a looming threat as much as just a whole bunch of, I don't know, grown-ups. You know what I mean? Like they just seem like the principal of the school.
yeah,
You know, maybe that's what the comparison I'm trying to make. They just seem like a whole bunch of principals walking around. You know, when you're in school and you see the principal, you kind of like, oh, hey, how you doing? That's how they feel. I mean, they tried to make him and show them to be intense. You know, when Reva cut off that guy's that civilian's hand, you know, for what she basically just talked back to her a little bit.
yeah.
You know, yeah, they're trying to lay down the law, but I just don't feel that heaviness that's supposed to be, you know, with the with that side. But I don't know, maybe they'll make it better. I don't know. All I know is that right now Reva is one of my most curious characters, but she's also the one that's bothering me the most because number one, she has these secrets that we don't quite understand fully. Sorry, I was bringing that up. But she's very stoic. She's very like she doesn't really bring forth any true emotion. She's kind of like pale face, just giving a single-handed performance. And I don't know if that's deliberate or she's just not doing a good job acting. We don't know that much about the character yet. I was hoping by the end of episode 2 they'd kind of shine a little bit more light on that, but we haven't gotten that yet. So I'm not exactly sure what her deal is. But another nitpicky thing that I have with this specific episode, or with the episode 2, is there's this one part when Obi-Wan went to save Princess Leia, and you know they're running across the rooftops, they're being shot at, doing their thing, and then Reva, who just got, you know, and who just got in trouble by the Grand Inquisitor, and she's kind of like licking her wounds on, sulking on top of the rooftop, sees that Obi-Wan's getting into battle, and she's okay. This is my chance. This is my chance to go get Obi-Wan and take him down. And so she starts animalistically running across the rooftops, doing awkward backflips that were completely unnecessary, just making a whole acrobat situation of it all. And while she's doing that, Obi-Wan and Princess Leia are trying to get out and get to the ship so they can get off planet. And there's like 5 minutes that have gone by where Obi-Wan's like, he drops Leia and picks her up with the Force and guides her to the ship, and Reva's still running across the rooftops like she wasn't that far away. It was just a bad editing job. But it didn't take me out of the show. The show, I thought overall was still really, really, really good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I thought it looked pleasing, and just Ewan McGregor just did a great job just bringing me back into that world, and wanting more from this Obi-Wan. But at the same time, I'm very aware that I'm watching a TV series instead of a Star Wars movie. And that's, I think, my biggest issue with this is I feel like this should have been a full theatrical release.
I mean, I'll wait until it's over before I decide that, but I think I would have preferred this to be a movie.
I'm just saying thus far, so far, I feel like
yeah.
the story that's being told right now we could have dove a little bit deeper into the character development of these people, but instead they're just kind of like popping up going, I'm here and I don't like you because of reasons. Come on, and then they start fighting.
Yeah.
But,
oh
well, he says. All right. Well, I'm trying to get my screen stopped working. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of notable characters I want to talk about here. Number one, we don't know this dude's name. I know his real name. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that. Do you?
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Thank you. Now, he showed up as a very interesting character. Now, he was in Eternals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He played the actor.
Right.
And it really threw me off because, like, Eternals, like, I don't know, it just seeing him in Eternals and seeing him here, like, my brain didn't identify these as two different characters. I'm like, wait, wasn't he in Star Wars already? And I'm trying to think, was he in one of the other series? Was he in the sequel trilogy? Like, well, where did I know this guy from? It took me forever to figure out he was in DC's Eternals.
DC?
Is it? No, I'm sorry. Marvel Eternals.
Marvel. Yeah.
But so he shows up as a Jedi poser.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty much parlor tricks to pretend like he's a Jedi, magnets in the wrist so he can like grab, look like he's using the Force, and he tries to act like he's in hiding so he can get, credits from people that are on the run. Now he does save them. He does put them in a ship and send them on their way to a safe place, but he's also taking advantage of their financially. He's taking advantage of them. Now I heard maybe a possible rumor that what if, because he does come back as a hero. He starts off as kind of a dirtbag, gets called out by Obi-Wan, but he comes back as kind of the hero. He shows up because what? I screwed up. I was taking advantage of people, but I was also keeping them safe, and I'll keep you safe too. And he sends them to the ship that gets them off planet. What do you think the chances are that he is also a Jedi, but like he was a Jedi pretending to be a fake Jedi, and that's his disguise?
I think that actually would make sense. That'd actually be kind of clever too.
Right.
Huh. I actually like that idea.
Hiding in plain sight. Like just keep a couple magnets on your wrist. Like, no, I'm not really a Jedi. This is just magic tricks. It's party favors. I sell these at stores. Yeah.
That's unfortunate though. I don't think we're ever gonna see him again though, because
Peggy Landrum Turley says, who plays that name? Kumazi?
I think she means who plays Kumail.
Kumail? I don't know. Hi, Peggy Landrum Turley. Welcome.
Is the actor who plays this character.
Yeah, no, that is the actor. That's the actor's name who plays the character. The character, and by the way, Peggy is my mom. Hi, Mom. The actor actually doesn't have a name. Like I went and looked him up, like in the IMDb, and his name there's a question mark. He doesn't
Weird.
actually have a name in the show so far, but that's so his real name is Camille. So hi baby. Okay. Hi mama. Thanks. That's probably who's watching now. All right. Did you watch Star Wars, Mom? What do you think? Star Wars. You should probably watch Star Trek, to be honest with you. All right. So Darth Vader. What are our expectations with Darth Vader? What's on your wish list when it comes to how we're going to handle this character? You know, not just like how Hayden Christensen's going to, you know, do the part, you know, and still, you know, have his face on screen, but like the actual character Darth Vader. What we've already seen him once at the end of this episode. Do you think he's going to show up in the third episode? And if so, how?
I don't think we'll see him in the third episode. I think they're giving us the big tease, you know, like, oh, here he is. He's Darth Vader. He's in the show. But we're going to take a couple episodes to actually let you see him. I think we're probably not going to see him again until episode 4. Maybe even episode 5.
God, these 6 episodes suck.
Yeah, unfortunately they do. Though, who knows? Maybe he does show up in episode 3. Or maybe even if he does show up in episode 4, maybe he shows up at the beginning of episode 4. Like,
so, like, how do you think he's going to show? Do you think he's on the hunt for Obi-Wan?
yeah, I do. Obi-Wan left him to die. And Obi-Wan even thought that he did die. So I'm sure he wants some sort of revenge on him.
Yeah, it's just... that seems the most organic way to look at it, you know, but to me it just seems like that was never hinted at before. That's one of those moments where this is like slippery slope of if is this a retcon, is this not a retcon?
I mean, we've never explored this era with these characters before in the movies. I mean,
Yeah.
So, or you know what I mean, like live action and stuff like that. So, like, I don't know that I'm sure he wants revenge on him, and you know, maybe people will say things like, "Oh, well, that's not what Darth Vader would do. Darth Vader wouldn't go out for revenge and stuff like that." You know, it makes him seem like a baby, a crybaby. No,
He was kind of a crybaby, like in all 3 prequel movies.
Well, that wasn't Darth Vader.
No, but you know, the man behind the mask. You know,
This is different though, and the only reason I say it's different because this is personal. This is a lot more personal. This isn't, oh, Obi-Wan stole my lunchbox during training, so now I have to go back and kill him. This is Obi-Wan left me to die on this lava-fired red planet, and I survived without limbs.
I'm really looking. I think it's going to be an interesting point of dialogue if they ever bring up, like, if Obi-Wan brings up what happened to Padme.
That would be. I mean, well, Vader knows though.
He knows that she died. She doesn't. As far as we know, he doesn't know how she died or why. He doesn't realize it's her. I mean, like, heck, he blamed Obi-Wan for like how Padme was thinking. So obviously, he's going to blame Padme being dead on Obi-Wan. That's how I think this is going to work out. And
I mean,
it's going to turn on him.
Maybe he could like twist his mind into thinking that, but Palpatine did straight up say that Vader killed Padme too. He said that to Vader.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He as soon as
he said
you killed her.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, it's in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, okay. Well, what about Qui-Gon Jinn? Do you think he's going to show up in this series?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's very likely, at least, that he will show up because they've teased it twice now.
What do you mean teased it?
They've teased it 2 times now.
How'd they tease it?
Well, in the first episode, after Obi-Wan woke up from the nightmare, he was like, you know, Master, you know, are you here? You want to talk?
He's here in the distance. No.
And then and so that was kind of a big part. But then in the second episode, it was like a brief line where he just says like Master, if there's any time I need you, it'd be right now. And then they just kind of move on from that. But like,
man, he is just holding out, huh? For the opportune moment. He's gonna
I mean-
he's gonna be episode 6, last 5 minutes or last like 30 minutes.
We know they communicate already. It's not like Qui-Gon's been hiding this whole time
I mean, from us. He's hiding from us.
from
The
us.
audience.
Yeah, the audience. Yeah, but like we know that him and Obi-Wan have communicated before because they mention it in Revenge of the Sith. Like they say that like they found a way to get contact with him again. And I know you haven't watched Clone Wars and stuff,
Yeah.
but he does show up in Clone Wars a few times.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense. Yeah. See, I'm not a Star Wars connoisseur. I don't really know much about it. That's more Seth's area. So I'm learning something, and maybe hopefully you guys are too.
I also want to throw this out there, and this doesn't really have to do with Obi-Wan, but it does have to do with Qui-Gon. I thought it was kind of cool. They announced a new show today, a new like animated Star Wars show. I think it's kind of in the same vein as like Clone Wars and Rebels and stuff. Qui-Gon, I believe, is the main character of it, and they did say that Liam Neeson's coming back to voice him. So I just thought I'd
Oh,
throw
it's an
that out there.
animated show.
It's an animated show, yeah. I think the main characters are Qui-Gon and Mace Windu, and they did say Liam Neeson's coming back. So he's open to it.
So is that going to be a prequel?
I think so, yeah.
Jesus.
I think that's like a yeah.
This whole series is getting so convoluted. All the prequels and
I mean,
sequels and
I think it's gonna go back and forth between like prequel and like just the prequel time because they said Liam Neeson is coming back, but I think I could have been misreading or like mistaken, but I think it said Liam Neeson's son is voicing young Qui-Gon. So like, I don't know. This was announced like 5 minutes before we started. Like, so
what would be the point of that other than just having it be an adventure? I mean, when you go back to the prequels and the prequels and the prequels, you know where all these characters are going to end up.
It's called Tales of the Jedi. I mean, it's
so that's what it is. It's an action adventure.
Yes,
yeah, pretty much. Okay, all right. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we jump off here?
For Obi-Wan, no. I mean, I kind of said all I really have to say about it.
All right, cool. I think we pretty much covered it. So yeah. With that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and we will be back Monday for Drive By News. Stay trigger, my friends. Peace.